Hello, my name is Rosemary. Welcome back to Relatively Speaking 2020. I'm going to do a collective card read. Yesterday's card we went a little longer. It was about an hour, so I'm going to make this a little shorter. I am using the regular tarot deck today. And again, I'm asking people to take what resonates with you. It may not resonate with everybody specifically. A certain topic or a certain card, certain emotion may resonate with you or message. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest for other people. I am simply here channeling as a messenger. And today we're going to do a collective card read for the core collective in our community, our small community that we have, but also how it reflects out in is a collective for the world collective. Again, we do have ability to affect our spaces as well as multiple other spaces when you work in quantum. And as you can see, one of these cards did pop out. I'm going to actually cut it. Take the one on the bottom. And I'm going to see what Spirit has for today. I'm going to do 4 cards. And looks like pretty good cards right now. So we have the 7 of Cups for the collective. And this is something that, again, it's an emotional card. And we do have wand cards in here as well. And a lot of the wand cards do pertain to your community, your job, your domestic affairs, and your home life. 7 of Cups right now is talking about a lot of this is illusional. What illusion we're in. And if you're familiar with anything I've been talking about, I have put on a podcast called Storytime, and it is about us as communities. And a lot of you have spiritual communities out there, and a lot of you are looking to connect together. The more we actually connect together on a web, the more that we're able to, again, you may have a community build in Australia, and there may be one in Texas that you want to connect together with, light workers. The more that we build this web together, and the more it actually, what people have been calling this light grid, will actually start lifting. It will lift the illusions, which again, this is what the 7 of Cups is signifying. It is a balance, but it's also signifying illusions in a way in this particular card read, and or particular card, I'm sorry. And the 7 of Cups represents said options, many choices, the multiverse in a way. And this one is actually from Aladdin. So again, this illusion, these wishes. It's upright, so it means like fantasy. It is the decisions, the wishful thinking, and also procrastination. Now, procrastination did come up in my card read yesterday. If you're not familiar with it, go back and watch the card read. It was one of the ones that popped in. It was the reverse. It was 8 of Wands that was reversed. So it's showing Aladdin standing before a myriad of fantastical dreams. It is impossible for him to pursue them all. It is important he make his decision wisely and quickly. So this is having all of these decisions happening and all these wishful thinkings. I wish I could obtain this one, but you know what? This opportunity on the left looks better. But what about the one on the bottom? But also the procrastination and delay in it of making a decision. You have what is before you. You are balanced when you are in that balanced space, and you do want, normally, well, a lot of people like to make their own decisions in a very logical way, or make sure that they're getting the best decision out of what they choose, the best consequence. So again, this one is talking about, and this is reflective of our core space, live server, whichever you want to call it, whatever narrative we want to go into simulation wise, and also the collective in a whole out in the world that is happening. A lot of people that are connected, a lot of light workers. And I was talking podcasts, and this is why I mentioned it, about breaking the illusions. It is time to break illusions. It is time to go back into that one server space where things are collapsing into. And these timelines are shifting. They are collapsing down. And you'll see them with the more things that people are observing in their spaces about certain things that are being struck at certain time events. These are visions. These are actually, a lot of the core people in the core actually have a lot of visions in here of certain timelines and where they're collapsing on, where they're overlapping, what is being run, and where they're going to collapse in. The way to move. It's this intuitive way. So, and here we have the 2 of Wands, which is decisions. It is travel. It is business opportunities. It is future planning. It is cooperation. And this is actually Janus, which is actually the god of doorways. He has two faces. He's holding a scepter and he's holding a, you see that he's holding the wand, a staff. And he is taking a step. He's making that first step to make that decision, that left or right, to make that decision to move forward on the first step. So it is representative of travel and commerce. He's the god of doorways and transitions again, and is able to look to the past and the future in order to make effective decisions. He's always in motion, connecting dreams with actual possibilities. Now, a lot of these do with mythology. And again, they're actually attributed to, again, this is Italy. The one before this was Arabia. Can be attributed to global places, geographical places. Well, I'm not going to rule that out, but also what people's perception, sometimes people are, what religious layer they come in, or what spiritual layer, what mythology they come in, that is actually their origin space. These also can pertain to those people in these origin spaces as well, and their past and their mandala effects, their multiverse. So this is actually saying, always in motion, connecting dreams with actual possibilities. So this is taking your illusion right now, and we're going to make that decision, take that step, open that doorway. We are at a precipice. We are where doors are opening, where it is time, again, commerce, travel. It is time to start connecting the dots, connecting the community together, to break those illusions down and actually take action, to see those, again, the cooperation. We are, what did I just talk about the light workers making a web, a grid to go across. And again, we're here as light workers, star seeds. Some of us have come in as, and love warriors. And Karina has that in her podcast that she was on. If you'd like to, I believe it was episode 4 of the podcast. If you'd like to go back and watch that in story time or listen to that. And she does talk about the same thing, about making these moves, actually standing up. It's time to stand up and not shut up. Not to shut up. It's time to stand up. It is time to move. It is time to have this movement. So this is saying that to make a decision, stop the procrastination, my cat agrees, and to go into that movement, start building together, bringing that community sense together. And this is where, again, this is now affirmed with the 4 of Wands, which is normally a marriage card. And even if you're doing this as 4 seasons, I do have 4 cards. Again, I have been talking about the fall. It has been something kind of coming up a lot with the fall. This fall being a big time of a union, a reunion, a communion, a marriage in a way, and a happiness card. Again, in your domestic space, you could see that this is a marriage on here. And this 4 of Wands is actually, this is from India. It's a Sanskrit poem. It's an epic poem. And it is Mohini and Aravan. The 4 of Wands represents rejoicing and festivities, a well-deserved celebration and stable time to be thankful, cherishing loved ones. Mohini and Aravan embrace each other, enjoying the time before the next adventure begins. Reunion. So success, pride, happiness, and family. So these are all things that start making we had, it's a lot of people, they start in the spring to plant. Again, your decisions, what seeds do you have? What did you put in the ground? What ideas did you go with? What road, what path? And then you have the movement of it in the summer to bring all of it together, to collect that growing process. Again, this is seasons. This is also something in a core collective, world collective. I'd like you to keep that in mind. And then seasons. We have fall. So spring, summer, and fall, a reunion. This is happiness. This is success, pride. This is your harvest. What are you harvesting? And right before the next big adventure, which if you're looking at this comes from, if we're looking, I'm going to look intuitively. I feel this season-wise. This would be winter, which is the Strengths card, which is upside down. It's actually reversed here. It is Strength, and I will turn it right side up so you may see it. And this is, I believe it's the 8, which again is, it is reversed. 8 being that infinity, that heaven space union, but also being in reversed right now. And this represents, I'm trying to see which one. Okay, so this is actually from Scotland. So we have Arabia, we have the Middle East, you have Italy, we have Europe, we have India, which again is Asia, and then you have Scotland, which is, again, goes back to Europe, but if you want to look at geographical locations, you can take it that way, again, taking what resonates. This is strength, and it's reverse, and this is Tam Lin. This is a Scottish fairy tale, and the strength card is about willpower and determination. So focus, persistence, ability to confidently stare any challenge in the face and overcome it. This is not physical strength, but purity of heart and purpose. So this is telling you about your weakness, your self-doubt, abuse of power, pride, and negligence. Now, following a timeline, if we're doing summer, or you're doing spring, summer, fall, and winter, or autumn and winter, it is this union and also this separation. A lot of us are seeing it, and it depends on what timeline you're in. Again, the only one, if you read biblically, even wise or reference-wise, the only one that knows the time and place is God himself. And being connected to source, some of us are in different slices of time. So this is actually talking about being self-doubt, abuse of power, pride, or negligence. So what you neglect from your harvest, from your what seeds you sown, what decisions you made, what you have neglected, what any weakness, anything that you're abusing in power, again, also can be attributed to what happens in the winter. Are you, and I'd like to go back to the story, I believe it's in a folklore with the ant and the grasshopper, and the ant collecting all summer all the seeds that it could to store it for harvest, and the grasshopper being lazy, procrastination, and not actually collecting for his harvest, not caring, not making any preparations for it. And by the time he got to the winter, he had no food, he starved. And the ant was like, okay, well, I did all this work. Why would you didn't want to help, and you sat there and didn't do the work. So the harvest that you met with was weakness. It caused you weakness. It caused you to lose, your abuse of power. So I'm doing with those 4 cards for now, and then I'm going to do 4 more cards as a clarifier underneath it, and I'm going to go with, we're going to go with Akash. And we're going to ask Spirit right now, or Source, and connecting to with messengers, angels, any spirit guides. We'll let the cards read what we're looking at for a world collective, core collective, on each one of these cards, and how for each one, what messages that we could have for them, for which path that you're choosing. How to help in this way, how to help you have the best harvest. And again, a lot of people are changing a lot in the summer, or there's a lot in the community, spiritual community, about gatherings in the summer. I've been hearing about this, about building the communities. And again, as I've been saying with Storytime, connecting, making the bridge. We do have the Discord server, which is our bridge right now. It's actually, or the hub space. The bridges are coming between people in their community builds, people that are out there and they have their own branches. We're just at the core, the trunk of it, the root. You can come in, do your exchanges. Maybe somebody can help you out. Again, this is part of the school building. Maybe somebody could share a skill with you that you don't have, or join a community for a little bit. Learn and cross train. Help. Hey, what are you observing on your side? And let's fix this situation over here in Australia, or fix this situation over here in Japan. Let's build those vibrations together and bring home here. So I do have a lot of reverse cards in here. This is, again, this card came up the other day. This is Archangel Gabriel, which is communication, and it's reversed. It's about communication. It is number 3, which is a divine trinity, and it is reversed. And I have another 3 card, which is loving element, which is also reversed. And I have the 4 of forces, which is spring and autumn, so seasons, and it is under the autumn card which we chose, or which that fell out, again, which we chose as designating as autumn. And we also have Hilarion, which is number 5, which is change, which is reversed, so a stagnation. So again, which is reversed underneath the strength card here. And in the Akash, so Gabriel being the messenger and being the one that delivers messages and shows you about being about power words, inspiring you. But being in the reverse section, it's indicating that you have a difficult time when communication is concerned. So you're not speaking out for yourself, or you're filling your own mind with negative words. This could be a life lesson for you, something you needed to change for a long time. Gabriel is a powerful force that can bring divine love and courage to expression, and his help is yours for the asking. It's up to you to reach out and to this wonderful angel who is always available and willing to help. Let his peaceful yet powerful presence fill you with courage now. So this angel has been a friend to your soul throughout the history of the Akashic records. This time of confusion or disruption in communication is a perfect opportunity to reawaken to yourself to the profound friendship and to your worthiness and power to express yourself and speak your truth. So figure out what you should say, meditate on Gabriel's loving presence, and start to get comfortable hearing your own positive and powerful voice. It's time to speak up, not shut up. I did just say that earlier. So again, this is, even in the reverse section, this is a time now to speak up, not shut up. This is time to make those choices, what you have put out, to speak your truth, to say it out loud, to say, okay, you know what? Oh my God, I made a mistake here, and I'm not a perfect person, but I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my power now, who I am. This is the time for you to bring those communication skills, express yourself, be comfortable in yourself, take your power back. And going in this flow, so we have this loving element, which is reverse, which is 3 of roses. And I would say that's not loving. But 3 of roses reversed. So this card reveals a serious split from the loving child within, from your own spirit, and from your union with the natural world. It's also a time when you seem to have lost your enthusiasm for life. Try not to take things too seriously. It is important to find a joyful purpose, something that truly makes you feel your heart sing. Meditate more, do the things that make you happy, and open your heart to your own radiant self and to the dancing, happy beings who are only a breath away. So even in the reverse, it's actually a very good card. It is telling you that it's time for you to, that you've lost your enthusiasm. So again, this is about being in union with the natural world. And this is something that's happening somewhere. A lot of people I feel are isolated. Some of them are feeling this loneliness and the solitude of it in their life. And a lot of people are not realizing why they're isolated. Why is spirit isolating? Because some people are fighting it. And if you're fighting that, then you're therefore fighting source, God. You're fighting spirit. You're fighting why this period of isolation is happening. Even though this card represents these decision makings and movement, notice that he's making these movements and a sturdy foot. He is making a decision, standing in himself. And this is, again, it's important to find a joyful purpose. So your soul purpose. So standing in yourself and making that decision to your soul purpose, which then goes with, again, the Archangel Gabriel, stand up, not shut up. Stand in yourself. What is your soul purpose? We are here again as light workers, as I've been saying earlier, to break these shackles of illusions, to bring down these walls. And going with the seasons, it is summer. So I am doing this as a seasonal spread. It turned out like this, and it's no coincidence that on my screen I have the 4 seasons as trees as well still on my screen. And 3, again, being a divine number. 3 is in a trinity. And we have a season card here. We have the 4 of forces, which is spring and autumn. And how in the spring you plant, and in the autumn we actually sow what we plant. We harvest what we plant. And it being a card, I'm going to say it's going to be a card with autumn because we used fall here. So, and this is upright. And this is the spring card. Upright shows a budding tree and flowers beginning to bloom. It is one of the seasonal cycle cards and indicates that you are entering a time of planting and active preparation. Just as the spring is full time for the farmer who is tilling the ground and planting his crop. So let yourself be put a little more effort now as you lay the groundwork for the time ahead. This could be a very creative period for you, taking action in creative projects or work-related endeavors that require more time and attention. The work you do now could yield great rewards later. Make sure you engage in this extra activity with joy and optimism. You are always planting your energy into the Akashic record of your life. So as you work towards your goals, remember to plant hope and happiness along with the actions you take. So I want to say Gaia is going through earth changes. And I'm going to say this because this is actually talking about the spring, even though this is in the fall position that we're seeing here. And again, it's funny how we use fall position, but we're talking about a union in the fall. Or if most people do, a lot of people do get married in the spring. I mean, they hold weddings in the spring. So it is funny we're having this union, this reunion in the fall, and it seems more like something that happens in the spring. It's upright, so it's not reversed. It's not showing the fall. It's not showing the harvest. But this is having a spring harvest or planting in the fall, which would bring abundance for the winter for those that are in this paradigm. They're in this building phase. Are you on this timeline? Are you going to be falling into space, into this place, this reunion, this partying type mentality in the fall? And we have 5 reversed here. If you're going across, which is again for we're going to use it for winter, and it's Hilarion, which is number 5. And it usually 5 signifies as change. A lot of 5s are changes, change cards. And being reversed, it's a sign that you've lost your focus, and you could have become totally illogical about an issue in your life. You may feel confused because you are deceiving yourself about something or someone. This reversal could also reveal there is an important information that may be unknown to you. No matter what's troubling you, it's time to bring your logical mind back into focus. Turn to Hilarion for help, and then create the strong intention to do your part. Open up the lines of communication in your spiritual and personal life. And above all, let this master of knowledge and truth help you be more honest with yourself. When you see yourself and your life truthfully, all confusions will disperse. So again, this goes back to speaking your truth and standing in your power. Stand up, not shut up. And doing this so by a winter stage to establish a community space, to establish that communication. And it doesn't necessarily mean change. It is upside down. It is sometimes a stagnation. We do have a little bit the strength card in reverse, as I was reading earlier. And this is opening up that spiritual side in your spiritual and personal life, opening up your communication, really affirming what you have harvested, that you are standing in your truth from the beginning, speaking your truth, and here to the end, that you've chosen on your path what you planted, breaking those illusions. That break the illusion is actually to speak the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And there you go, there's a clarifier. And I'm going to draw 1 card. Let me draw 1 card from the Oracle of Roses, and to round this out, and this will be your overall message. This will also be standing in yourself. And I draw this. We have the Rebel. So again, this is a Briar Rose Rebel. And this is the Austrian Briar Rose, the Rebel. Again, we're covering a lot of space here. And it is number 7, which is the balance, your chakras in balance, all of yourself in complete balance. And it is, what could you do today, this week, or this month that is unexpected? Things cannot always keep going the way they have in the past. While on the outside your tired and true path may still prove to work, there is a price to be paid in stagnation and resting on one's laurels. The safe way is not always the best way, but the adventurous direction should still be considered with great care. The Rebel knows that breaking completely away from what is considered the average, the expected, and the normal does not mean leaving your values behind. This is actually a card astrology sign for Aquarius, so water flowing. This is also a deity with Prometheus, which is bringing that light, the light bringer, the rebel part. And this is challenge, expression, and justice, equality, and creativity. So this is taking your creative passion. This is taking leaving your stagnation behind and actually moving forward in your life. Planting your seeds in the correct space, making sure you're taking care of the self-care part of it, but also being creative in your endeavor and fluid in your emotions. Pay attention to what's going on the outside of you, but also what's reflecting inside of you as well. And a lot of times we see the world not the way it is, but we see the world the way we are. People can see it as optimistic, people can see it as pessimistic, or people can see it as realist. For both sides for what it is, and actually go in the middle ground and go, okay, this is the entirety of the truth. There's actually 3 different stories. There's your side, the other person's side, and the actual truth, which is somewhere in the middle. So being that balance ground. Be rebellious though. Don't stay inside. Don't color inside the box. I should say, stop the flow of stagnation and actually start stepping into your life. And you will have this harvest. It will carry you over into the winter as well. So my name's Rosemary. I'm going to round out this read. I didn't want to go as long as I did the last one, which was about an hour. And this is a read for July 7th. I do card reads. I'm charging for them, but I'm also asking people to just come join the community too. We are looking for just a little bit of funding. I'm humble enough to just look for funding just to get by a bit and feed my animals and take care of them before myself a lot. 11-11 for a 4-card spread, 22-22 for a half an hour, and 44-44 for a 45-minute spread. I use multiple decks as well, and I do soul paintings and reference paintings, and I do music paintings. And we do have a great community starting in Discord, the community hub. So if you'd like to join our central hub and bring your branches in, connect with other people, asking you to join our Discord, and I will leave all the links below. And donations are always welcome if you are unable to, but any donations are welcome, and a lot of it does go for community funds as well, and not just myself. So thank you, and you have a great day, and love and light them up. Time to light up this world and break these illusions.